welcome to Meat on Mondays. I think this is the fourth one of these that we've done. I'm Court Green, and you don't care about that. But anyway, today we are going to be making more venison. I'm sure you're not surprised. Specifically, we're going to make roast. I make two different kinds of roast. They're all venison, but one I make specifically for sandwiches, and the other one is more of, you know, your everybody stick a fork in it in the middle of the table kind of deal. Today we're going to be making the one that's for sandwiches, and so I'm actually going to make two of them, because I just happen to have enough venison laying around that's what I was able to do. For this, what you're gonna need is, obviously you're gonna need your meat, because it wouldn't be Monday without it. You're also gonna need aluminum foil, a bowl to mix stuff in, and a pan. It's really rather simple. Right now I'm preheating the oven up to 500 degrees, and in just a minute I'm gonna put spices in a bowl, mix them with oil, and we're gonna put that on the meat itself. Spices for this one, and if you're detecting a pattern, that's on purpose, are garlic. We use that a lot. Another spice that we're using for this is the old standby oregano. Use that a lot too. And I'm gonna put rosemary on this, which is not actually often seen on this, but I put it on ribs and it tastes very good. And if you think about it, a roast is kind of similar to ribs in that it's meat that's cooked over a long period of time over slow heat, and rosemary tastes great on both of those things. So I'm gonna mix them together. After that, we will get ready to mix them with oil and put them on meat. And for that, we're gonna use a brush, simple. And then of course, when we get done with that, we'll just dump the rest of it on top, and we take our old standby olive oil and put it in there. The interesting thing about the way that we're gonna do this, once we actually start doing this, is that instead of putting in an oven under a constant heat rate for a long period of time, which is what you do with most things that you cook, especially in the oven. And by the way, this is about the only thing I make in the oven. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the oven for a short period of time. There's about 3 pounds of meat, so we're gonna put it in the oven at 500 for 10 minutes for each pound. And that'll end up being 30 minutes. After that, we're gonna turn the heat off, and it's gonna just keep the oven closed for an hour or so. And after that, it'll be done. That'll keep it from drying out. It's not the way you think about doing it, but we do that with a lot of things that we don't even think about it as cooking. Like if you ever get done with biscuits and they're kind of soft on the middle, you're like, well, I don't want to burn them, but you kind of do that. So anyway, I haven't given you any specific amount for the ingredients, because, you know, how do you do that? Just enough to cover the stuff you're making. And you make it into a fairly thick, almost paste, and you brush it on there, and that's all you do. So if you can't see, I've got aluminum foil on a pan. I'm going to use this to get these ready. Then I'm going to wrap the aluminum foil around it so that the moisture stays in. By the way, I always, almost on everything, put salt on it, and on this you don't want to until after it's cooked, because salt will dry it out. But anyway, I'm gonna put some on the inside of the pan so that when I wrap it up, it's in there. Not the pan, the aluminum foil, so that when I wrap it up, it's already covered that part of the meat that it's touching. And then, most important ingredient is meat. And I'm gonna talk to you about this particular piece of meat after I put something under it so it doesn't trip. So this is a part of the hindquarters. It is one of your rounds, and you can really do any of them. The thing about this is it would actually make great steaks if you trim the fat off of it, take this connective tissue off, and then just cut it right across it. It makes great steaks, especially if you cut it about 1.5 inches thick. But I was willing to sacrifice steaks for sandwiches. And these are choices you have to make when you're butchering or when you're going to buy meat from wherever. Not everybody gets their meat from their in-law's yard, like I do. All right, so I'm brushing this on. I don't think this requires much explanation because it's fairly standard. Most people know how to work a brush, and so I'm not going to bore you with any explanation. I'm just gonna tell you that the oven that beeped a second ago was it being preheated, which means we are good to go. And as soon as I get this done and do the other one and wrap them up, we'll be ready to stick them in the oven for 30 minutes. So this is one wrapped and ready to go into the oven, and I'm gonna make the other one, which is actually a little bit bigger, but I'm not gonna do that on camera because I have some other things I got to do, and so that's going to take me away from this. But this is ready to go, and in a little bit we'll put this and its sibling in the oven, and then you won't see me for a while, and then we'll take them out. So it dawned on me while I was brushing and wrapping the other one that's over here all ready to go, that I never showed you what it actually looks like when you have the spices and all that junk on the meat. So I'm gonna pick up the camera and a phone, and I'm gonna move this over here and let you see that. One of the things that you'll notice is, unlike most of the deer that I cook, I haven't cut all this silvery stuff off, and that's because this is gonna wind up being in a sandwich, and so it's gonna be turned into very, 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 very thin slices. And so because I'm doing it that way, there won't even be enough on there once it gets done to even taste that or to even notice it. So if I was making something else, like I mentioned it before, but I'll mention ribs again, then you really want to get all that stuff off. But that's not what we're doing here. So now I've got the 2 venison roasts all wrapped up tightly, and they are in this pan, and they are ready to go into the oven. So I'll remind you, the oven is set for 500. I'm gonna put them, middle rack is fine. I'm gonna put them in an upper rack. And now that's when I have to warn you about something. That hurts. I'm not very heat tolerant, which is kind of sad. As I'm setting the timer for 30 minutes, because I have about 3 pounds of meat, I want to remind you that when you cook anything in an oven that's got oil on it, the oil's gonna bubble. It's gonna make a smell. Now, if you like the way cooking venison smells, then, sorry, I accidentally hit the power button with my thumb. If you like the way cooking venison smells, then it's not gonna bother you. But if you don't, or one of the spices kind of sets you off, then maybe do it when no one's home. Maybe do it when you're not gonna be home. Maybe turn a fan on. I don't know, burn a candle, do whatever you gotta do. But it will not taste bad, even if it smells bad. So anyway, next time I do a roast, it'll be the other way. There's 2 ways that I prepare them. One is this, and that's for sandwiches. The other one is like this is for family dinner kind of thing. And when I do that, then I do it a completely different way. It has vegetables all around it. It's soaked in wine for like a week. But I just kind of wanted to do it for sandwiches, and so I'm going to. Next time you see me, it'll be when it's time to take them out. And by the way, I'm gonna need a great clips to open soon. So if you guys have people that are connected, we're gonna need that to happen. Hope you're enjoying your quarantines more than we are here, and I will see you when it's ready to get these things out. All right, so I just took these out of the oven. That's why you're not getting me in the picture, because I wanted to show you these. One of them is still wrapped up. I did unwrap the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut it one-handed so you can see what it looks like in the middle, but I can't do it one-handed. So you're gonna have to see it this way. That's what the middle looks like. And it was in the oven for about an hour and a half with the oven off, and that's the trick to it. I'm gonna cut these really thin, probably sometime tonight after I've cooled them down for a little bit, and then turn them into sandwich meat. All right, I'm Court Green. I'm back again to see the finished product. I took it out of the oven a little bit. Now I have cut it. So as you can see, we have feature sandwiches here, and hopefully, I mean, I've already tasted them. I cheated, so they are good. But again, this is a venison roast that is specifically for sandwiches, and it's down there getting ready. I have 2 of them ready to eat. And so if you do this at home, I hope you enjoy.